Of carrying out what's being investigated as a terror attack.
Witnesses are reporting that the subject used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd.
Now, FBI Special Agent Mark McCulloch says 8 people were burned and hospitalized.
The reason the feds were so quick to call this a terror attack is because of what the alleged attacker said, Free Palestine, and who he targeted, a group of people who were rallying to free Hamas's hostages.
That's Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House.
The suspect is a 45-year-old Egyptian man who overstayed a visa in 2022. That's what makes him an illegal immigrant. And police searching Mohammed Sabri Soliman's house in nearby El Paso County, Colorado last night.
He is facing assault and weapons and murder charges, though we have no reports of anyone being killed in the attack. And while those people attacked in Colorado protesting against Hamas, Israel hit Hamas with another airstrike today that Palestinian officials just said killed 14 people. The day after accusing Israel of killing 31 in a crowd near a food distribution site, the Israelis claim they only fired warning shots and not at civilians. There are new peace talks today in Turkey between Russia and Ukraine, which had carried out a big attack over the weekend using drones deep inside Russia, taking out warplanes and missile launchers.
Not many people think these talks will lead to a breakthrough. The two sides are far apart in demands. Russia has so far rejected Ukraine's call for an unconditional ceasefire before negotiating a long-term truce. Kyiv's accused Vladimir Putin of stalling for time.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The manhunt continues for 3 escaped prisoners. 2 broke out of a jail in New Orleans more than 2 weeks ago. Another escaped from a prison in Arkansas over a week ago. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. TrustandWill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
President Trump's big, beautiful bill will be worked on this week in the Senate. Some of his fellow Republicans who do approve of the tax cut extension and increased border security worry the bill will also add to the debt and deficit, so they oppose it as it is. GOP Senator Ron Johnson tells Fox Sunday Morning Futures.
I want to see him succeed, but again, my loyalty is to the American people, to my kids and grandkids.
All Democrats oppose the bill, saying the Medicaid cuts already in it will take health coverage and food assistance from millions of Americans. House Republicans already approved the bill last month.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says he's telling critics he doesn't see the big, beautiful bill as a spending plan, but as a reconciliation bill, highlighting cuts to unchecked spending over the years. On NBC's Meet the Press, Speaker Johnson said what the government wants to do is groundbreaking.
There's no government on planet Earth that's ever saved over $1.6 trillion in a piece of legislation. This one does. And so when you reduce government spending and you allow people to keep more of their hard-earned money, the economy grows.
Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Drama off the coast of New England yesterday.
A man and a teenage girl were pulled from Long Island Sound after their small plane crashed near the Connecticut coastline. The 6-seater Piper PA-32 went down Sunday near the Thimble Islands about 10 minutes after taking off from the airport in Bridgeport. The occupants put out a desperate call for help. They were cleared for an emergency landing at nearby Tweed, New Haven Airport, but couldn't make it. The FAA says the plane sank quickly. However, the Coast Guard got to the scene in time to pull the two out of the water. They were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment for minor injuries. Daria Albinger, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down before a new month of trading after gains in May for the Dow more than 4% and the NASDAQ nearly 10%. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a check of local news on your Monday. Superintendent of Champaign Unit 4 schools out. Tempers flared last week as the board voting to end Sheila Boozer's contract effective immediately. Boozer will remain on paid leave until her contract expires June 30th. Well, drowning is a leading cause of unintentional injury death in 1 to 4-year-olds and the second leading cause for 5 to 14-year-olds. Lifeguards of the Sholem Aquatic Center in Champaign said it's important for parents to help keep an eye on their children. Each lifeguard goes through a week training to make sure they're capable of doing their jobs. A state Democratic bill to add AI as part of cyberbullying school code passed the Illinois Senate Friday. Proposal would put into state law that no kid can bully another by using AI. Students cannot spread explicit AI images of another person and also cannot create a digital replica of the person that they're bullying. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And Sheila Boozer got a pretty good deal. I mean, she's going to get $250,000 this year to stay home.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Then I think it's pension.
Okay.
Full pension after that. But there's limits to which meeting she can go to and all that other stuff.
I see.
And what about the guy that was moving toward Tony Bruno? That was interesting. Ready to take him down.
I see.
I'm surprised it's
These
not
are school board meetings.
Well, this was this school board meeting when 21 stood up for Sheila Boozer and said, I think she should say she's great and all these. And listen, this whole thing, whose ever fault it is, was dysfunctional with a capital D. It's been a mess. So anyway, action at the Unit 4 school board. And why does it take however much it's going to cost for some sort of a search firm and take me 12 months to find another superintendent? Why is that? That's just pure government, slow. Give me a break. I'll give you 2 months. Figure it out. It's June. You can reach everybody right now.
You're right.
Go find somebody. Let's go. All right. Hey, good morning. Solier's jumped on. He's a meteorologist extraordinaire.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
He's got her going on. Going to make it feel like summer for at least a couple of days, and it cools a little more, I guess.
But nothing cold. We're just kind of cool back to seasonal norms. And some folks really need some rainfall, not necessarily south, but here in points north, east, and west, and we'll get that middle part of the week too.
I just want to do a shout out to a woman named Barbara.
Okay.
Saw her at church yesterday. She was sitting right in front of me, and she said, "Listen to you every day."
Awesome.
Ooh.
I said, well, that's great.
Thank you.
Maybe I should say your name. No, it's one of those. Appreciate what you're doing, but don't mention.
Keep it on the down low.
First name only. Anyway, it's great, Barbara. Thank you for listening. And we're trying to bring it to you as honestly and as candidly as we can. With obviously not a fence sitter. I have a lot of opinions. And a lot coming your way between now and 9 o'clock. You call it morning therapy.
Yes, we do.
Weather brought
morning radio. Yes.
And it's therapy mixed in.
That too.
All right, weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Are you a grandparent raising grandchildren? Need help signing up for Medicare? You got an unpaid caretaker and questions about caring for your loved one? Learn about healthy aging at Carl. carl.org/services.
You want the accurate weather, you got it here. Meteorologist Greg Solier, what's our week looking like in this first week of June, sir?
Yeah, a little more feel of early summertime, the welcoming of meteorological summertime as of yesterday. And still kind of that smoky, hazy look in some areas of the Midwest, East Central included, from the fires up there in parts of central Manitoba and off the Canadian Rockies again. They've had, of course, a few weeks ago, a consecutive string of 85, 90, 95 degree heat. And after early spring rains, they have dried out again up in that part of the world. Out the door this morning here in East Central Illinois, 56 at Willett and Savoy, same at Danville, 55 at Rantoul, 65 at St. Louis, to 52 at the Kankakee, heading towards an afternoon high today of, early summer-like feel at 85. Sunshine, but a hazy looking sky at times and some patchy smoke and haze. Certainly, we think most of that will remain up aloft from an air quality standpoint. Down tonight to about 6 63. Tomorrow, more humid, increasing south wind, and a hot day getting close to 90. Please, no complaints to the weather office. We haven't had anything like this springtime season with sunshine and an increasing south wind. A shower chance after midnight, warmer, muggier at 71. A couple of rounds of good coverage showers and thunderstorms Wednesday and into Thursday. Inch and a half worth of rain over those couple of days. High around 85 on Wednesday, up near 80 on Thursday. Lingering shower chance mid-70s on Friday. We're dry Sunday or Saturday. Showers are back in on a chance basis Sunday and Monday with high temperatures into the back end of the weekend, early next week, either side of 80 degrees. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Nothing wrong with all that. Hey, good morning. Good to have you listening. My name is Stevie J. That is Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
So we've had these anti-Semitic attacks against our Jewish friends, 3 in the last couple of months. Somebody tried to burn down Josh Shapiro's house, the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania. The couple about to be engaged.
Yeah.
Shot dead.
Right outside the
A
museum.
few weeks ago. And then over the weekend, you had a maniac made his own flamethrower.
Man.
So here's what you do. You get these people, and you send them to Guantanamo Bay for life. You can't do this. This is a terror attack.
Yeah.
And a flamethrower into a crowd is murder.
In Boulder, Colorado, 45-year-old Egyptian national.
And is illegal because he
overstayed
his visa. So that makes him an illegal immigrant. You can't have this happen in America, so you've got to put the penalties. The guy just stood around yelling, "Free Palestine." The people, there was a pro-Israel, they were marching, which they do every week, praying for the return of the hostages. That's their crime. So this guy throws a flamethrower trying to kill them all. No, you just that's what I'm slow to anger, but that one gets me. Go to 0 to 60 pretty fast. You're just done. You're done in a free society. You can't live on the streets anymore. You're now in jail for life. That's an attempted murder, terror attack, and you're gone. So we'll see what happens. Probably be released. It's just horrific to consider what we're doing. And so when President Trump says you can't be anti-Semitic on your campus or you lose funding, fix it. You know you have the problem. You just see what's happening in London. See what's happening in Paris. And the Muslims have come in, the radical ones, and they're tearing down these cities.
Yeah.
They have their own neighborhoods. You can't have your own neighborhood. You got to assimilate in America. That's what you're going to do. So we need to stand line here. You don't do that to anybody. You can't pick. It can be anybody. They can pick any people and go and throw a flamethrower at them. Mike Ditka, you get what you tolerate.
Yep, that was the phrase.
You cannot tolerate this. This is unbelievable. And all of our Jewish friends that have kids all over the world are a little scared right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the world cannot tolerate it. And they're afraid to do anything. And now they don't know what to do because they wanted to let everybody in. This is the reason you vet people before they come to your country.
Senate Minority Leader Schumer commenting, "This is horrifying. This cannot continue. We must stand up to anti-Semitism."
Well, thank you. See, you're Jewish.
Right.
My gosh, where you been, Chuck?
If you have any comments, 217-359-2255. We'd love to hear from you on our top story of the day.
All right, let's check your sports. The Fisher National Bank text line. Let's check your sports headline.
All right, we had Texas over St. Louis 8-1 yesterday. Here's the update on that game.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
For Mike Claiborne, this is Ricky Horton with your Redbird Recap. The Cardinals yesterday dropped the final game of the road trip to the Texas Rangers by a score of 8-1. The game was in doubt in the middle of the game. Actually, a well-pitched game for Jacob deGrom and Eric Fetty, the starters for the Rangers and for the Cardinals. But the Rangers were able to pick up a couple of runs against Fetty in the second inning, and that would have been enough to hold up. But a 5-run eighth inning put the game out of reach as the Cardinals end up 3-3 on the road trip after winning 2 out of 3 in Baltimore, and they dropped the 2 out of 3 series in Texas. A big day for Josh Smith on the other side, 2 doubles and a home run late, and he picked up 4 RBIs in the game as the Cardinals dropped to 33-26. They'll be entertaining the Kansas City Royals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Toronto Blue Jays when the homestand starts, but it's an off day today as the Cardinals will try to regroup and come back swinging starting on Tuesday. This has been your Redbird Recap.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
All right, well, we had the Cubs win over the Cincinnati Reds, 7-3.
Cubs are good now. I'm continue to say it. You need to jump on board. Go find somebody who owns a business. We can still get people in for sponsorships because people were down on the Cubs. They're leading the division. They're 4 games ahead of the Cardinals. I think the Cubs are real. It's June now. Getting serious here.
I know it.
They're good.
But they've got some tough games ahead, and people have talked about how tough June will be for the Cubs with the Nationals coming up Tuesday, tomorrow.
Way better than the Nationals.
Okay. 5:45 start for all 3 of those games. Then the Tigers over the weekend.
Tigers are the best record, but the Cardinals are a game and a half behind the Tigers, are the best record in baseball.
Okay.
People are looking like, we got the Cubs coming, and they're looking at us. Or the Cubs, they're looking at Chicago going, oh, I mean, the Cubs have a better record than the Dodgers, better record than the Padres, better record than San Francisco. The Cubs are, Philadelphia, I think the Cubs have a better record than Philadelphia. They're good.
Man.
Anyway, the Chicago Cubs, how long must they play this well? They've lost like 3 games in the last 2 weeks. I mean, they're just playing well.
Okay.
So,
I was just going to look up their record just so we can be real official about it, and it looks like it's 37 and 22.
Yeah, I think the Tigers have 38 or 39.
Okay.
So anyway, Cubs are playing well. Listen to them all the games on US 105.9.
That's right. Baltimore over Chicago's White Sox 3-2 yesterday. Now the White Sox will have Detroit. It's a 6:40 start from the south side of Chicago. Indiana's Pacers over the New York Knicks, 125-108 on Saturday night to take that series 4 games to 2. So Thursday night at 7:30 will be in Oklahoma City. Pacers versus the Thunder. Who would have thunk it?
Well, you're right, and apparently the Pacers could probably play basketball with a 10-second shot clock. Apparently they go up and down like nobody's business, and it's fast. So, but OKC's loaded, so we'll see. Finally, the Unity High School Rockets are playing in the super sectional in girls softball.
Yep.
They just hit 6 home runs in their game over the weekend.
Awesome.
6, and one young lady hit 2.
That's awesome.
They're playing at Milligan at 4:30 today against Auburn. Auburn, the 2A state champion, defending champion.
Okay.
So the Rockets have their hands full, but what the heck? Good going Unity girls still playing sports.
That's right.
Into June.
Scotty Scheffler at 10 under on the top of the leaderboard over the weekend. Illinois football recruiting, Eli Conan, a defensive end, has 3 years of eligibility. So we'll welcome him. And speaking of that, Coach Brett Bielema looking good on Friday night, Stevie.
Want to talk all
and
about
so did
that.
you and your tugs.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being there at the Champaign Rotary's big action.
Action.
I will brief you on what I know. Maybe Diane can share the notes. She was there as well. Weather this morning for you from meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
And keep in mind, Wednesday evenings is our neighborhood night starting in June. 6:30 to 8, different parks and groups performing every week. It's going to be Carl Park across from Urbana High School with the occasional Cajun Band.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. The summer-like warmth expected to stick around the first part of the week. Just some modest cooling, but welcome rainfall in the drier areas expected for the middle part of the weekend, perhaps thereafter. For today, no rain, warm sunshine, but a hazy, smoky look to the sky at times. 85, light southeast to south wind. Patchy smoke and haze early on, down to 63 for tonight. Tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, sunshine close to 90. South wind picks up 25 miles per hour gust expected in open areas. For tomorrow night, we'll bottom out at 71, maybe a shower after midnight. Warm, humid with a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday at 85. Still a couple of more showers, maybe a thunderstorm for the day on Thursday. The high near 80 there. Partly sunny, lingering shower chance Friday at 76. Dry Saturday 77. Back up to a warm, humid high Sunday at 82 and middle 80s on Monday with again a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Set your financial goals.
One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
JetBlue Airways tells Reuters its partnership with United Airlines will not lead to a merger. Last week, the two companies revealed a collaboration. United CEO Joanna Garrity says JetBlue has spent a lot of time with the Justice Department over the past 5 years, and the airline is playing it safe. Shares of European car makers are losing ground with the Trump administration expected to double the tariff on imported steel and aluminum. Stellantis, Mercedes-Benz, and Renault are seeing the largest losses, followed by VW, BMW, Porsche, and Volvo. The Wall Street Journal says artificial intelligence is here for plumbers and electricians. San Francisco-based Netick has developed an AI platform for home services firms. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Janice Dean, Fox News senior meteorologist and host of the Janice Dean podcast. Join me every Sunday as I focus on stories of hope and people who are truly rays of sunshine in their community and across the world. Be sure to subscribe to the Janice Dean podcast at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the sunshine.
America's listening to Fox News.
We're back. We have Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say, wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
What we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. I had the chance to talk to Ben Quattrone on the Action Auction. I want to get to that in a few minutes, but I did want to mention an Urbana man has been found guilty of possession of child pornography after he viewed it on a public computer at the Champaign Public Library.
Right.
Of the 4 counts of possession he had been charged with, 70-year-old James Tippett was found guilty of 3. Champaign County Judge Roger Weber said that the video evidence of Tippett browsing images served as the basis for 1 count, did not clearly show that he was looking at any images of underage children. Another patron visiting the library used his cell phone to capture videos and images of Tippett. This is back in 22?
It's just coming to light now. The story was dated May 30th, 2025.
It said another patron visiting the library November 28, 2022 used his cell phone to capture videos, images of Tippett as he used the public computer. There's got to be some sort of protection. So
that's what John is bringing up when he texted in to 359-2255.
I can't go to the Champaign Public Library and look at pornography.
It says, why wouldn't the computers have safeguards from programming them into preventing anything like this happening?
Well, you obviously would. So I don't understand the story. It can't be real. There's no way you can go to any public library and look at pornography. They've got guardrails for those things. So I don't know.
I don't know either. I came up with that when I did an online search after the text came in.
But you can't just look at anything on a public computer, right? Come on.
Right.
There's no way. So, however, maybe he put his own stick in there or something. Maybe he doesn't have a computer, but has a stick of bad stuff and then stuck the stick in.
Yeah, you're right.
You cannot go to a public library, I'm 100% sure, and look at bad things.
And you'd think there'd be some kind of alert for our administration to say.
No question, man. Look at Mission Impossible. They can do anything. You can't go to, you can know when people hit the wrong thing.
Right.
So that's that, and that's an ugly story, but it took 3 years to figure this out. If that's true, from 2022. Anyway, it's I remember when they put in the public library, was it $25 million? Now it's dropping the bucket, but it is an extraordinary library at Champaign. Really, really a nice public space where a lot of people take advantage of it. And hopefully children are checking out books. Okay, I'm going to give you what I know about the Action Auction, because that was the benefit literacy.
Yes. Breck. That's right. Books from Breck.
Books from Breck, a little boy that passed away. I didn't know the story.
I didn't either, but we found out. Yeah. And lots of organizations in town will be getting lots of books for our young people.
Yep. Okay, we will be back. We do have a law enforcement official of the month coming in. We'll do that after 8 this morning. And we honor law enforcement. We've been doing that, I think it's a decade. It's been over 10 years.
Wow.
Where we've been celebrating law enforcement because it got really, really stupid. Too stupid for me. And I was going, this is crazy. Why are we dumping buckets of water on police officers in New York City and letting the kids get away with that and laughing at it? It was disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's improved, but we still continue our efforts.
That's right. We'll meet an officer from Rantoul, Caleb Kraft.
Awesome. Okay, we will be back. The news next, and then Action On. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. 8 people hurt during a solidarity march in Boulder, Colorado.
The FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Denver FBI Special Agent in Charge, Mark McCulloch. Fox's Peter Jussi at the White House.
The suspect is a 45-year-old Egyptian man who overstayed a visa in 2022. That's what makes him an illegal immigrant. And the reason the feds were so quick to call this a terror attack is because of what the alleged attacker said, Free Palestine, and who he targeted, a group of people who were rallying to free Hamas's hostages.
Police arresting Mohammed Sabri Solomon. He has a court date 1:30 p.m. local time, charged with multiple felonies. European Union Trade Commissioner, that's Maros Sefcovic, will meet his U.S. counterpart Jameson Greer in Paris on Wednesday. That from the EU spokesperson today. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An Urbana man charged with a hate crime that occurred on the University of Illinois campus after a month of erratic behavior. 39-year-old Tyler Kirkwood arrested by University of Illinois police. An Asian student claims he was chased and threatened with violence last week. Illinois House passing a bill Saturday to raise the minimum detainment age for minors from 10 to 13. Sponsors said raising the detainment age can give young people a fair chance and prevent early criminalization. Detention for 10 and 11-year-olds would stop only July 2nd of next year, while detention for 12-year-olds would end the following year. A state Democratic bill to add AI as part of cyberbullying school code passed the Illinois Senate Friday. Proposal would put into state law that no kid can bully another by using AI. Students cannot spread explicit AI images of another person and also cannot create a digital replica of the person they're bullying. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Watts Copy Systems offers cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, call Watts Copy Systems 352-0428. Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Lenschow and State Farm are there. Here's our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. The summer-like warmth expected to stick around the first part of the week. Just some modest cooling, but welcome rainfall in the drier areas expected for the middle part of the weekend, perhaps thereafter. For today, no rain, warm sunshine, but a hazy, smoky look to the sky. Times 85, light southeast to south wind. Patchy smoke and haze early on, down to 63 for tonight. Tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, sunshine close to 90. South wind picks up 25 mile per hour gust expected in open areas. For tomorrow night, we'll bottom out at 71, maybe a shower after midnight. Warm, humid with a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday at 85. Still a couple of more showers, maybe a thunderstorm for the day on Thursday. The high near 80 there. Partly sunny, lingering shower chance Friday at 76. Dry Saturday, 77. Back up to a warm, humid high Sunday at 82. And middle 80s on Monday with, again, a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Neighborhood Nights with the Urbana Park District will feature different bands every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8 p.m., performing in various Urbana parks presented by the Music Shop.
Wednesday, May 31st at Carl Park, 400 West Indiana Avenue. Enjoy the occasional Cajun band.
There's free popcorn and lemonade, along with fun activities and community resources. Bring your lawn chair out Wednesdays throughout the summer starting at 6:30. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
I'm trying to remember the last time I was able to go to a charity auction without doing something.
Right.
And I cannot.
It feels weird.
It feels weird. Diane was there as well, and she's the one that does everything, making 200 to 300 appearances a year at walks and charities, and only had 6 over this weekend. So anyway, Diane was there. She looked beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I was there, and I, again, don't get out to these as much as I used to, but it was, I wanted to really tell, our leaders. We talked an inordinate amount of time with this action auction, mostly because of the people involved and the auction items that were so incredibly unique. They were experiences as opposed to, a signed autograph of Patrick Mahomes' jersey kind of stuff.
Right.
This is more intimate from the standpoint of opportunities to buy experiences. And so really impressed with all the people for Champaign Rotary and all the hours they spent to try and raise $300,000. Imagine that, $300,000. So I saw Doug Nelson, the president.
Okay.
I saw Dean, saw Sam
Yes.
Banks, and I just told them to their face, guys, you work so hard, and congratulations on every 3-year event and all the time you spent. And I told them this before it all started, and that felt good. And I enjoyed seeing all the people that, I knew. Enjoyed talking to Brett Bielema briefly and how good Brett Bielema looks because he's dropped weight.
Yes, he has.
I mean, I don't know at this point, 70, 80 pounds. I mean, he just looks wonderful.
Right.
And he was in a great mood with his lovely wife, Jen. Enjoyed that. Of course, Josh and Hope Whitman kind of honored as
being honored.
Yep, and they were great. And Hope's just a sweetheart woman. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I think both Josh and Brett way over their heads. Just punted the kick covers.
And Josh Whitman acknowledging that.
Yeah.
No,
said some very nice things.
I just loved it.
She was uncomfortable. She said, time's up.
Time's
all
up.
we're talking.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was wonderful. And I tell you what, really enjoyed talking to Lauren Tate.
Yes.
I have not talked to Lauren in some time.
He sat at my table.
92?
93,
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to tell you. I saw a picture. Diane's the organizer of picture. I wouldn't take one picture, and you took them all. It was great.
I know.
So Lauren's in the picture, and I'm looking at him going, what? I mean, really, what?
Yeah.
He looks...
Got the fountain of youth going on.
Might be 70, 75.
Right.
He's 93, and he still golfs, and he can golf under his age.
Uh-huh.
He apparently shoots in the 80s.
Okay.
What is that?
That's great.
I've seen Lauren swing. Lauren has a wonderful swing. But the fact that he can chuck it out there still 190, 200 yards. He said 200 yards with good wind, which is pretty darn good.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, good talking to him. And I said, Lauren, you're unbelievable. You're still producing good stuff. You have content. You've got it going on. The guy, anyway, it's a remarkable career. For Lauren Tate. It really, really is. He's been writing for the News Gazette since the 1960s. So
That's
you can do
right.
60 years.
So I have a lot of these pictures on my social media in case you want to be my friend at Diane Ducey. And Dave Revsine was in the picture too.
Yeah.
And he was the MC from the Big Ten Network. Talked about all his local ties to the area.
Kinda. And he was here for 2 years. He was like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was here from 1965 to 67. Right. Dave Resving was here. He doesn't remember, but they were born here, and obviously fond of Champaign-Urbana.
And talked about his relatives always wanting to come back and, things like that. So
it was great. It was really, really a nice evening. Okay, so they did these auctions, and we talked a lot about going to the Masters on a private jet with Josh Whitman.
Right.
It only sold for $14,000. Now, I put only in quotes. It is a one-day deal, but the value of the jet alone is more than $14,000. Now, you don't understand. Private aircraft travel, because of Johnny, I've had some of that, and you don't want to go ever go back.
Well,
just sitting next to strangers.
MC was like, "That's just barely covering the cost of fuel on this one."
Well, it covers the fuel, like $6 per gallon for jet fuel. It doesn't cover the expense of renting a jet. So you got it. Somebody got $14,000 in a one-day Sunday. The Berkman place was the key deal because you're with all the green jackets. That means all the members. You can't join the Masters. You can't join it. You have to be asked.
You're living large with the fancy people.
I'd like to know what it would cost if you did get asked. Hi, Bob. I'm Steve. You want to ask me to be a member? Can I borrow $100,000? Anyway, it was, and then they had these 7-day trips to Croatia.
With 8 people.
7 and 8.
Some of them with 10, the chef experience.
Well, and so those are like 10 or 15,000. If you did the math on 10 people, 8 people, it was a great bargain. So, moral of the story, go prepared with your posse so that you all kick in $2,000. Now, you have to fly there. You'd have to buy your ticket to France.
That's right.
But I mean, as a cost value, go price what that would cost for that chateau or that mansion. I thought the pricing in the auctions were bargains.
Me too.
And then how about the, I think the most expensive one I heard was the weekend with the Underwoods and the Whitmans and Napa Valley wine tasting.
Yes.
That was $17,000?
I think so.
So, listen, that's a lot of money. And I saw a couple of wives when their husbands won $5,000 things, and they didn't say anything, but their expressions. I wish I had a camera. They're going like, what are we doing?
Right.
It's like $6,000.
Our property taxes are due tomorrow. That's right. What are you doing? Thursday. Okay.
Don't get me panicked. June 5.
In early June.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to spread things out. The Crisis Nursery in their auction is coming up on the 6th on Friday night, too, at the iHotel. So we've got a couple of great events coming up back to back. And if you're one of those who likes to give to everything, you really got to pace yourself.
Yes, David Goodman was the auctioneer. He was good. I had not seen, around here, people know Mike Namoff. And he does a wonderful job. David Goodman had a mouthpiece, and he was walking all over the place.
Yeah,
that was cool. I like that. Apparently, he was doing another event in Peoria on Saturday. So this was Friday, our event.
Right.
And then he did one Saturday, and that was to raise $1 million.
Nice.
All right. So what happened? So $300,000. That's a lofty goal for one night.
It is. And I was thinking some of these high ticket items that we thought would go for $50,000. Not quite.
No, they did not. So they were trying to get to $300,000. What did they do? Well, according to what I'm getting from the Champaign Rotary Action Auction, which we did spend a lot of time with, because, again, it was very unique. They were apparently $25,000 short of $500,000.
You're kidding. That's amazing.
Unofficial count right now, $475,000.
That's terrific.
That's amazing. Books for Breck.
Shanda Somerville, was kind of doing the DJ duty from what I could see. I was telling her, my goal is to get it to $400,000, and we passed that.
That's exciting.
That's awesome.
Well, wonderful job. It's once every 3 years, and they made it very special. And so I saw.
Way to go, Champaign Club, Rotary Club.
Yep. Great job and a great night. All right. 7:43. You're welcome to text us anytime on the Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. It was an idyllic weekend weather-wise.
Yes.
And we'll see what Greg says. But a little warmer and then maybe a little rain because, he was worried a little droughtish later in this month. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. We'll meet Caleb Kraft is our law enforcement honoree this month from Rantoul Police, and we'll learn about him.
I spent time outside on Saturday with Urbana's Market at the Square because the Champaign County Freedom Celebration is getting the word out about the new parade time of 4:30 and the new route. Since the University of Illinois police are really taking the lead on this, we're going to use the University of Illinois homecoming route.
I'm sure there's some that don't care for the change because it is change, but I think there was a massive gap from 1 o'clock when you're done by 3:30, and then what do you do till the fireworks?
Yes.
So now they go on 4:30, you dovetail into the fireworks.
Yes.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people don't like it because of why?
Well, like one reason was Lincoln Avenue is off of the route now. We were going up on 4th Street, turning on Gregory, then 1st Street, and then back to Kirby to 4th Street.
So go to 4th Street.
I know.
Lincoln's there and 4th Street right there.
They like the Illini Grove and the shade, and they've been doing it for so many years.
I get it.
We have a place where we park.
Yeah, I got it. All the secret things townies know.
I know.
They are no advantage.
Feel bad, but gotta adjust.
Well, plus if you go to UVi's homecoming, you're used to where.
Well, and they don't see the numbers on, our volunteers are down, our donations are down. We just got to consolidate it all and make it a little more user-friendly for the nuts and bolts of.
And another really unique aspect of living in this time we're in is you can't get a marching band.
I know it.
First of all, it's summer. It's always been summer.
But we've been reaching out since February, March.
And you can't get a marching band.
Can't get a marching band.
And you're paying them to come.
$1,000 to the Booster Club.
Unbelievable. And they don't wear their uniforms anymore. They wear shorts and
t-shirts. Wear whatever you want.
Right.
We would like to get 30 members or more marching, but nowadays it's just...
what is the status of high school marching band?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's really the COVID that really made people change when it comes to... really enforcing that, you got to march in the marching band.
Yeah.
This is part of so many of us, decades of people that have marched in the marching band and been a part of the 4th of July parade.
I give credit to Joe McCullough, all of you volunteers like Diane Ducey that are trying to keep it going because things like this can go away pretty easily.
Right.
Because nobody cares or doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
And here we're trying to figure out a better way, and I think this is a really good idea to bring it together. And you can't do your thing that you know how to do because you're the townie guy and you know how we're the Grove. I know we put the lawn chairs, the whole family. You just go to 4th Street or go just find there. If it's a homecoming route you're familiar, it doesn't go down or up Wright Street?
No, it's going to turn on Gregory is the one. It's going to go on 4th Street. It's a different homecoming route, Stevie. You're thinking of a different homecoming route.
Okay, well, that's ridiculous then. I think you should scrap the whole thing.
So
I always go by Greg Hall.
And somebody...
St. John's is right there.
Looked at and it's the same length, too. As far as a mile and a quarter, I believe it.
I mean, you hand out candy for that one now.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right under the ordinance for the city of Champaign, especially that you can't throw because I think there was an injury before. And if we're having a farm theme this year with Alvin Decker and 4 generations of farming, he's a Philo guy and just such a great story.
Alvin's 99?
Yes, born in 1926, served in the Army.
Wow.
But because of the big tractors and stuff that we're anticipating with people rallying behind the farming theme, especially that, we want people to hand out and not be throwing from the tractors and the little 3-year-old coming towards the...
Those aren't your dad's tractors anymore. They're pretty big.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right, 217-359-2255. You want to jump in, have a thought?
And July4th.net, just to kind of wrap it up, July4th.net, in case you need more details or want to hop on, donate, sponsor, whatever. We had Texas over St. Louis 8-1 yesterday. They'll have the day off today, setting up a series against... You just took a sip of your coffee. I can get over here to the schedule.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Can't remember. Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. And that's going to be at St. Louis this time, right?
They just played over there in Kansas City. So
6:45, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
The I-70 series or whatever they call
Dodgers.
it. Yeah. The Dodgers aren't as good as the Cubs.
7:15 on Friday, Saturday, or it looks like 1:15 on Saturday and Sunday.
You'd rather play the Dodgers than the Cubs right now.
Yeah.
So there, here's that. So.
Okay, maybe that.
Yeah.
So Cubs over Cincinnati 7-3. When I was out and about, there was somebody asked about the Cincinnati Reds organization and how Jacob Hurtubise, your son-in-law, fits into the picture.
He's still AAA baseball, and he's actually the triplets. My triplets turn another year this week, so we're gathering today. So Jacob, on his only day off of the week, has driven to Champaign-Urbana, so he'll be here on the ground for about 24 more hours. And that's about it. Then he's got to get back to ball.
Well, we got Baltimore over the Chicago White Sox 3-2, and now the White Sox are hosting Detroit Tigers with a 640 start. Scotty Scheffler on top of the leaderboard, 10 under in that PGA tournament. Oklahoma City already in, now playing the Indiana Pacers. 4-2 was the game series that they beat the New York Knicks on Saturday night, 125-108. So that's where we're at with the NBA playoffs. Where are we at on the draft? Now that we're
NBA
in
draft's
June.
later this month.
Okay.
And then we got to watch Kasper Jonas. Remember him?
Yes.
Will Riley. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well.
And then we have Cooper Flagg, who's probably on top of the NBA draft picks. Isn't he going to Dallas?
Yeah, I think Dallas had a 1.8 chance of getting the first pick, and they did.
Okay.
They have like a drawing of the most needy teams, and so somehow Dallas, who traded away Jokic to L.A., gets the first pick. That's unbelievably lucky. So they got that going for them. All right, we check our weather, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Windows.
Your premier provider for home improvements. And boy, if you've looked at the gutter helmet, never want to clean those gutters again, and keeping it away from your foundation when it comes to directing the water. Learn more about saving 25%, kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. The summer-like warmth expected to stick around the first part of the week. Just some modest cooling, but welcome rainfall in the drier areas expected for the middle part of the weekend, perhaps thereafter. For today, no rain, warm sunshine, but a hazy, smoky look to the sky at times. 85, light southeast to south wind. Patchy smoke and haze early on, down to 63 for tonight. Tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, sunshine close to 90. South wind picks up 25 mile-per-hour gust expected in open areas. For tomorrow night, we'll bottom out at 71, maybe a shower after midnight. Warm, humid with a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday at 85. Still a couple of more showers, maybe a thunderstorm for the day on Thursday. The high near 80 there. Partly sunny, lingering shower chance Friday at 76. Dry Saturday, 77. Back up to a warm, humid high Sunday at 82. And middle 80s on Monday with, again, a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now at Lands, it's a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system. We are offering special financing or up to $1,500 off any qualifying Trane system. At Lands, we know what it takes to deliver exceptional comfort, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you are thinking of a new comfort system, now is the time to buy. And remember, it's hard to stop a Trane. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Yeah, we got all the flowers planted around the house.
Okay, good.
Did that. That was, I just enjoy going to Prairie Gardens. I really do. And Steve Brown and the team out there, I mean, I just love their plants. So we loaded up on geraniums, a little orangish hue to them this year.
Okay.
So we have them all around the home.
That's a durable flower. You can forget watering them for a few days.
And I even bought a little arborvitae to put in one spot we needed. So I was very active over the weekend.
Thriller, Spiller, and...
I don't know.
You used to have
I know.
Down.
I used to know things like that. But
the three levels of the plant when you're putting it in some kind of a vase or...
Yeah, I did have you're talking about how it's combined.
How it looks.
Mostly geraniums, but then I've got the spiky thing.
Yeah.
I know. I know all the scientific terms. It's called spiky thing. and then the flowing
down.
It's a flowing down thing.
I went to Long Branch Steakhouse on Saturday night with the boys. And,
what'd you have?
And downtown Gifford has that going on their planters, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
How, some of it just like the vines come down, then the real full flower colors, and then the little spray on top. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So that was pretty active, and then getting ready for the kid's birthday.
Yes.
I just cannot believe the way time flies.
I know it.
Nathaniel's 32, triplets will be 28. I mean, what?
It's crazy.
What? I don't know. I know that it was Matt Sinclair told me that the longer life you live, the less you notice each event because you have so many.
Yeah.
And then...
and I feel like this chapter with adult children and then them having kids and being grandparent stage, I mean, it's just goes way too fast.
It does. And everybody, when you're 25, tells you how fast life goes, believe them. I did, but it was inconsequential because I didn't know what it meant.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror and go, what the heck happened to my hair? I was Afro King. I had the best afro. And, I was called more derogatory names that I suppressed. But I was called horrible names.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
You get over that and you get tougher.
Yeah,
but it was still awfully mean. So what are you doing, man? I have the best afro, way better than any black person, okay? I admit it. I'm better. I got better hair than Michael Jackson.
But you never did do the comb in the back.
No, I didn't leave the cake cutter. They were actually cake cutters. Yeah. Okay. Mine was a little floppy, but Michael's was tight.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was the man.
That's right.
I've been influenced by wonderful African-American men.
I mean, I just remember, and when we first came on the air, we talked about you with the records under your arm, walking into the Poison Apple in downtown Champaign.
Kind of a big star back then. Yeah. They had my name at Stevie J Teen Night, and I was 20 years old, kind of a big star.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I carried all those heavy records, and one night the heat didn't work, and there were 11 people there. Oh, yeah.
And they were all wearing their coats and they could see their breath.
Big time. But yeah, African-American men, Les Brown, the great motivational speaker, William Warfield, man, and they saw a little of my hair back then.
There you go.
All right, we're going to break. We're going to honor our law enforcement official of the month. That'll be coming next.
Excellent.
Caleb Kraft. He's
out of Rantoul.
Law enforcement hero in Rantoul. He's from Gilman, Illinois, and we get to meet him and just celebrate the fact that they're in our life. And I don't have to defend my backyard. Thank you, Lord.
You can watch the show, Stevie Jay FM on X if you want to follow us. And you can also chime in, 359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line.
I went to the, whatever that shooting thing is on North Cunningham.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they were doing some advertising when they opened.
High Caliber?
High Caliber. And so the owner handed me a gun and then moved the target in to like 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
He said, I want to make sure you didn't hit the ceiling or the wall. I said, it's 10 feet. Anyway.
How was it?
I think I wasn't bad. But I
it wasn't
still don't want to defend
target.
my backyard. Because if nobody answered 911, I'd have to defend my backyard. We don't want Stevie J to do that. Whew. All right, the news will be coming up next. Great to have you listening. This is June, man. It's Monday.
Here
June
we go.
2. Property taxes are due Thursday.
Let's go.
Part 1 anyway. News next. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, tell me, Tim Onstadt, how is it going at Gail Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com. When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Will he be charged with terrorism and a hate crime? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The man in the U.S. illegally who is accused of attacking a pro-Israel march in Boulder, Colorado. For now, he's facing weapons and assault and murder charges, though so far we know of no deaths.
8 people were burned by the suspect using what is described as a makeshift flamethrower.
The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack.
Mark McCulloch with the FBI in Boulder. The victims were participating in a march to support hostages held by Hamas in Gaza.
There's a woman who was on the ground bleeding out. Oh my gosh, sorry. And then there are 2 other women whose calves were burned.
The suspect is identified as an Egyptian national named Mohammed Sabri Solomon, and authorities say he is illegally present in the country, having overstayed his visa.
That's Fox's Evan Brown. As they protested Hamas still holding hostages, Israel hit Hamas with more airstrikes in Gaza, where Palestinian officials say at least 14 people were killed the day after 31 died when gunshots hit a crowd near a food distribution site. Israel denies it's responsible, saying they only fired warning shots and not at civilians. Russia and Ukraine holding direct talks today in Turkey, but they've been far apart so far, trying to work out a ceasefire. After Ukraine's biggest attack inside Russia over the weekend, Fox's Peter Ducey reports from the White House.
We were told yesterday that President Trump was actually given no heads up during the year and a half of planning by Ukraine for these complex drone strikes against Russian long-range bombers at various airfields.
That's Fox's Peter Ducey again at the White House. The Senate is working this week on the House-passed Big Beautiful Bill, as President Trump calls it, to fund his agenda from border security to tax cuts. Some Republicans won't support it until there are more spending cuts. GOP Senator Ron Johnson tells Fox Sunday Morning Futures the bill will make the national debt bigger.
My loyalty is to the American people, to my kids and grandkids. We cannot continue to mortgage their future.
America's listening to Fox News.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. TrustandWill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
President Trump won't like hearing this, as he warns Iran he'll do whatever it takes to prevent them from building a nuclear bomb, even military action.
A senior Iranian diplomat has told Reuters that his country is drafting a negative response after 5 rounds of talks with American delegates. The U.S. proposal was presented to Iran on Saturday, but Iran is said to view the plan as a non-starter. The diplomat, speaking anonymously, saying the U.S. stand on enrichment remains unchanged, adding there's no clear path to the lifting of sanctions. Iran says it wants to enrich uranium for peaceful purposes, but the country is widely suspected of seeking to develop a nuclear weapon. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
3 fugitives are still on the run. 2 of them are the last of the 10 who broke out of a New Orleans jail more than 2 weeks ago. Antoine Massey and Derek Groves was a convicted murderer. So is Grant Hardin, who broke out of prison in Arkansas 8 days ago wearing a disguise. He's also a former police chief who was serving time for murder and rape.
One of the reasons why this is so alarming, there was a documentary made about this guy called The Devils in the Ozark, about him and his crimes. The prosecutor in that documentary says this is one of the most dangerous and evil people he has ever prosecuted.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Gateway, Arkansas. It's a little hazy in parts of the northern U.S.
We're tracking wildfires just north of the Canadian border, and that beginning to impact some air quality. We have air quality alerts currently across Minnesota and the UP of Michigan. Some wind moving over the next couple of days is really going to shift where all of that smoke ultimately goes. At times, it could be pretty thick.
That's Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. Some of the wildfires in Canada forced people from their homes, with about 25,000 evacuations in Manitoba, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. On Wall Street, where the Dow and the NASDAQ made some big gains in May, falling stock futures suggest June might start with losses at the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a check of local news on your Monday. A state Democratic bill to add AI as part of cyberbullying school code passed the Illinois Senate Friday. Proposal would put into state law that no kid can bully another by using AI. Students cannot spread explicit AI images of another person and also cannot create a digital replica of the person that they're bullying. Superintendent of Champaign Unit 4 schools out. Tempers flared last week as the board voting to end Sheila Boozer's contract effective immediately. Boozer will remain on paid leave until her contract expires June 30th. Well, drowning is a leading cause of unintentional injury death in 1 to 4-year-olds and the second leading cause for 5 to 14-year-olds. Lifeguards of the Sholem Aquatic Center in Champaign said it's important for parents to help keep an eye on their children. Each lifeguard goes through a week training to make sure they're capable of doing their jobs. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
I thank you, Jim Miller. ESPN 93.5, hour number 2 with Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. Our weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 plus years, member FDIC. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier. He's an expert at the weather because he studied so hard.
Yep.
And
yes, and experience, grinding away at this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Experience counts in our,
Yeah. 99.9% accurate is what I say.
That's right.
99.9.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
you went out from 9987 to 999. So good for you.
Ooh.
Woo!
Everybody can improve.
Boy, everybody.
Yes. Even at this point in our longevity.
All right, buddy. What do you got besides a hint of summer, but otherwise pretty nice?
Yeah, the tide turning here to something a little more realistic for the start of meteorological summertime and the beginning part of June. Probably not terribly long lasting. There may be another cooler spell, and we're not completely done with rainfall either. That's probably a scenario that plays out at some point mid or more likely late next week around here, and a very wet weather pattern for the southern plains still. Areas from the Ohio on southward to the mid-south Tennessee Valley, Brother Johnny's Place, and points east from there. Tropics having gotten a little active. We have what was left of system off the Pacific, Elvin, that's entrained into the western states and will help to deliver some soaking rains and severe weather onto the plains. I'm watching something coming up all the way down out of Central America that may make its way into parts of the southwestern Caribbean already here in the next 7 to 10 days. So that stuff getting going as well. But in the meantime, nice quiet morning at 63 at Willard and Savoy, 61 Danville, 63 Bloomington Normal, to 60 up at the Kankakee, and 68 68 over at St. Louis. Sunshine and warmth, and still that kind of hazy, schmazy, smoky looking sky in some areas. Upper level winds are turning more west and southwest, so that should begin to wind down some of that Canadian smoke that's out of Manitoba coming southward the past couple of days. Up to 85 with a southeast to south wind on the light side. Humidity in check. Some patchy haze and smoke around early on tonight. Milder the overnight 63. The wind picks up, the warmth too, and the humidity tomorrow. The high close to 90, down to a muggy low of 70 tomorrow night and a late night shower. Then a couple of rounds of some pretty good coverage. Shower and thunderstorm activity Wednesday. Don't think there's any widespread severe weather, but maybe some soaking rains between Wednesday, parts of Thursday. Up to 85 on Wednesday, near 79 to 80 on Thursday, and a lingering shower chance on Friday. Add those days up, inch and a half worth of rain. We're dry Saturday. Bring back new scattered showers Sunday to Monday next week. High temperatures there as well, close to 80 degrees. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Well, every month we honor our police officers that are out there in the field. Very happy to welcome to the program. He's Resource Officer at Rantoul High School, Rantoul City Schools. His name is Caleb Kraft, and he is the honoree this month. And you joined the Air Force in 2004. Why?
Basically, I'm just a hands-on type of guy. High school, I was involved in sports and that kind of stuff. I really wasn't too keen on doing the books and everything else. Although, I did enough to get through. But
school wasn't your thing.
No, I want to do something more.
Yeah,
something
that's cool. All right, so you want to do something. You serve your nation.
Yeah.
You go be in the Air Force.
Good for you.
Based out in Montana.
Yeah, Great Falls, Montana.
Oh yeah, I've been to Great Falls. Beautiful. That's talk about wide open.
Yeah, that's the real Windy City. I mean, we know Chicago is the Windy City around here, but it gets really windy out there.
So you're doing some Gilman police work. I think you went to Ford County, and then you ended up in Rantoul here as a resource officer at the schools. What is that like?
It's different than what I'm used to. Used to working 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts and midnights, afternoons, day shifts. I've kind of been on all different aspects of it. So when schools are in, I'm working a regular day shift hours and with weekends off. So it's taken a little bit of getting used to this year.
Are the kids apprehensive because of what you or what they think you represent?
At first, I could sense a little bit of that. I'm mainly in JW8 or the middle school there.
Okay.
But I do handle the grade schools, Rise Academy, and pre-K also.
So you move around Rantoul.
I move around.
Okay.
I try to visit every school.
I mean, but isn't that better than walking up at 2 a.m. to a tinted window on some vehicle on the interstate? I mean, yikes.
I mean, I like to avoid the interstate, but there's pros and cons to each job, and I love that job just as much as I love the resource officer job.
But over the last, and you've been doing this 16 years, Caleb, over the last 10, it's been stupid. I mean, the way they treat it and the way you've been, you guys have to kind of take it, but my goodness, you're people that want to help others.
Yeah. There's been a big change since I started, especially as far as recruitment goes. When I first started, there was, for my spot, I think there were 35 applicants for one position. I know a lot of the bigger departments like Champaign County, Rantoul, would have, really large numbers for 1-2 positions, maybe no positions. They'd establish a hiring list based off of that. So it's different as far as that goes. And yeah.
Would it be something you would recommend? I mean, as you talk to these junior high kids, you think any of them someday will be police officers because of the good influence that you're sharing?
Oh, I totally recommend it. There's still, even with a lot of the bad press and things that have gone on over the past several years, it's still a very rewarding job. It's a good job with good pay and benefits and good camaraderie when you go into work. I look forward to it every day. I would recommend anybody that has that in their heart.
What do you think of the kids these days, Caleb?
We have a lot of good kids. I mean, I think
that's positive.
I think with each generation, a lot of the older generation's always like, well, that's not the way it was when I was in school. But I think that's continued on, So, but I do think I have a lot of faith in our youth now. There are new challenges, especially with social media and that sort of thing. But I have a lot of faith in our young people.
And you also don't know where they're coming from, because a lot of them don't have much going on at home. And that's rough when you don't have a mentor at home or somebody that, you feel helps you in school and all these other things.
Yeah, I was blessed to be raised in a good family. But I do, having experience in this job, having seen various home lives, I do sympathize with a lot of people. And each day I go in, I try to look at it from their perspective.
Mm-hmm. Would you think you'll stay as a resource officer? Are you happy with that, or would you go back out on the street?
I'm very happy with that right now. I just try to live each day in the present moment. So I'm enjoying it day in and day out. But the time comes to move up or go back out on the road, then I'd be happy to do that also.
Pretty diverse population in Rantoul. Are you
definitely?
Do you speak different languages or?
I do not, but we have a great resource, and we have multiple bilingual officers. Great people to work with.
How big is Rantoul's department?
I believe we have 31 sworn officers. 31, 33.
Yeah, right. That's quite a few.
And the population's right around 10,000?
I think it's a little more, maybe, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's funny how we go by that population sign and we just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think it's ever changing.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I know that for me, Cindy Crawford is a great resource in the area with the Northern Community Center and giving the food bank and having so many different, you could get an outfit if you have a job interview coming up and things like that. That's right next to the school, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, the Multicultural Resource Center. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So lots of little, feathers in your cap there in Rantoul, not to mention the sports complex. Wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful complex. I mean, just this past weekend I was working and they had rugby tournaments out there.
Rugby?
Both baseball complexes were packed. I want to say they had like 30-some baseball teams out there for the tournament. So.
That's really cool. All right, so you have a family yourself?
Yeah, wife, 2 kids. My son, he's going to be a freshman this coming year. My daughter's going to be in 6th grade.
Yeah, well, if you're watching on TV, Caleb looks like he's 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're looking good, and you love it. And what do the kids know about what you do?
Yeah, does your family support you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they're used to it. I mean, because I was already a police officer when they were born, so it's what they know. But I don't bring that stuff home with me. I just try to, when I take the uniform off and come home, we try to do our own thing. I, coached baseball for my son for years,
awesome.
and
So that was your best sport, baseball?
I don't know about best, but I mean,
did you have one you liked the most?
Yeah. I mean, football. I probably liked baseball the most, but football was probably my best.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what, Iroquois West?
Yes.
Were you pretty good at the time?
I don't know. I mean, I was probably average.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you played football 4 years?
Yeah.
Way to go, Caleb. Caleb, we really appreciate what you do out there. It's just an honor to meet a police officer that's helping people every single day. How long have you been doing radio?
This is my first day.
Oh, come on.
Wow. And a great voice.
Oh, no, you sound good. I'd call you a sandbagger. It sounds like you've been doing it, but you haven't.
No radio experience.
Very comfortable.
Caleb Kraft is kind of a fun DJ name, too.
There you go, man.
All right.
You're spinning the tunes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Double K.
Yeah, no, that's right. Caleb Kraft, Rantoul Police, resource officer at City Schools. We really appreciate what you do. Thank you for what you do. And stay safe out there.
Well, thank you guys for the support, and we appreciate you bringing me in here today.
We appreciate having you, Caleb. Stay safe. Thanks for coming by.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Caleb Kraft is his name, Rantoul Police Department, ESPN 93.5.
Hi, this is Chris Vandeventer with Philo Exchange Bank. We defined hometown banking for 14 decades. We've been a legacy of trust and dedication. We believe in the power of a community where every neighbor is a member of our family and not just another name. Unlike many other banks, our lending decisions are made within the walls of the bank. Quite simply, local banking means you get what you need quickly and efficiently.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. All right, we're going to check with Chapin Rose the budget.
Oh, boy.
Of the decisions, we'll talk about it, but exactly what I thought would happen, I'll explain.
Okay.
The decisions we make today and throughout our life impact our financial future. Home ownership is among the top financial decisions, but is it right for your situation? As we celebrate American Housing Month in June, Busey recommends you consider 5 things before making your decision. Time. How long you plan to stay? That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Risk. Are you financially secure enough for this? Finances. Consider how much you can afford, how much you have saved. Mortgage rates are key. Look at the amortization. And listen to your heart. Do what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve the dream of home ownership, you got to get it done. If you're ready for home ownership, your next step should include checking your credit score, finding a lender, pre-qualification, pre-approval so you can move quickly. Consider how much home you can afford. Busey participates in 30-plus special mortgage programs. If you're ready to take the next step, partner with Busey for the resources you need to turn your dream of home ownership into reality. Call 1-800-67-BUSEY. Ask which mortgage loan program is right for you, or visit Busey.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Our Senator Chapin Rose is coming up. Stand by. What does he think of this Illinois budget? 819.
Look at everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Early summer-like warmth greeting the new week through the middle part of the week. Welcome rainfall as well, and pretty good coverages and amounts the middle part of the week. May linger into the end part of the week, and perhaps some dry time for the weekend, but back into unsettled mode for the early portion of next week. Sunshine, warmth for the day today, and some patchy smoke and haze around, especially this afternoon. High around 85. Light southeast to south wind. Patchy smoke and haze early on tonight. A few clouds otherwise. Lows down to 63. Gentle south wind. Tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, mostly sunny. Highs getting close to 90 as south winds pick up 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Shower right after midnight tomorrow night. Warm, more humid at 71. Warm and humid up to 85 with a couple of rounds of showers, thunderstorms morning and afternoon on Wednesday. 79 with a couple of showers Thursday. 76 and a shower chance on Friday with a partly sunny sky. Dry Saturday. Shower threat back in on Sunday. Weekend highs around 80 with nights near 60. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
People are back to cooking and eating at home as much as they did early in the pandemic. That's helping Campbell's, which reported better than expected earnings and sales. Snack sales were weaker. It owns Pepperidge Farm, but its Rayo sauces business was upbeat. Campbell's is standing by its outlook for the year, though that could change. It imports canola oil and tin plate steel from Canada, so tariffs could impact its bottom line. Crude oil prices are higher, even though OPEC Plus is increasing production. Shares of U.S. steel companies are higher after President Trump increased tariffs on imported steel and aluminum to 50%. And French drug company Sanofi is buying Blueprint Medicines for $9.5 billion. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
We're back. We have Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Oh, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say, wow.
You get the whole store.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Chapin Rose is with us now at 8:23, ESPN 93.5. Apparently the Democrats shoved a budget down my throat. I am not surprised, sir, at all. Yo, Chapin?
Hey, Steve, what's going on, man? How are you?
They shoved it down my throat. What am I going to do? I don't have anybody. I have one Republican, the whole state of Illinois is Chapin Rose. That's all I got.
How you doing, man? Well, listen, dude. What I think is just ludicrous, and I think we need to be absolutely clear on this. Governor Pritzker is attempting to blame Donald Trump for the budget. Okay, and let's just be clear on a couple things here. This Friday night before the presidential election, it was J.B. Pritzker who announced he had a $3.1 billion deficit in his state finances after 6 years of governor. President Trump hadn't even been elected yet. The election hadn't even occurred. $3.1 billion deficit announced before President Trump was elected. Okay? Let's also talk about President Trump. I'm sure he must have been behind the $270 million in Democratic work projects. He must have been behind the $20 million for the South Side organizing project. Oh, wait a minute. I know Donald Trump was behind the $40 million in state taxpayer money for a new school in Speaker Welch's district. Well, wait a minute. Hang on. I know, Stevie. You and I both know Stephen Miller himself must have been working the phones day and night to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal immigrants in Illinois. We mean Donald Trump was obviously behind all of that. Okay, you know what Donald Trump wasn't behind? The $15 billion in increased spending in the state of Illinois since J.B. Pritzker became governor. That's right, $15 billion. This fiscal year alone, he's gone up. The fiscal year that starts July 1, the new budget, they will have increased spending by $2 billion. Okay? Now, wait a minute. You know what's not in that $2 billion? What's not in that $2 billion is getting development disabled direct service professionals to 150% of minimum wage. You know what's not in that budget? They cut higher education. You know what's not in that budget? Special ed transportation funding for school districts. Okay? But you know what is? All those other things I just talked about. Okay? So what is unbelievably cynical and just laughable on its face, and you know that the state-run media is working in overtime when they come out and have headlines that Donald Trump's responsible for the state of Illinois budget.
You got to be kidding. Who ran a headline blaming Trump? Can I know that? Do you know
the Chicago Tribune?
You got to be kidding me.
No,
it's such a cop-out. Well, what is it? What in the heck? Didn't J.B. Pritzker say, I'm going to veto any tax raise?
He's a broad-based tax. Oh, by the way, we haven't even gotten to the best part. So there's another bill to bail out Brandon Johnson and the city of Chicago for the PTA.
Oh, boy.
And this bill would impose a $1.50 per delivery tax on every delivery in the state of Illinois from Amazon, Walmart, et cetera. They'll exempt prescriptions and Whole Foods, okay? But, the minute you throw a pack of batteries in or toilet paper at Walmart, boom, $1.50, okay? You're a single mom, working late, got to get the food delivered, boom, $1.50. Oh, I know. You're a newborn mom, we just went back from maternity leave, got to get the diapers, boom, $1.50. You're a senior citizen, can't get out of the house, boom, $1.50, okay? Every time. Add up every time that any Grubhub, boom, $1.50, okay? Every time. By the way, your no broad-based taxes, according to J.B. Pritzker. Oh, they just increased the tax on cellular phones, too. Okay? We have the highest cellular phone tax in the country. But no, that's not broad-based. That's not a tax.
Yeah, I got you.
Don't look there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hang on. Did I mention they paused? By the way, listen to these words. the progressive liberals. It's like 1984 Newspeak, right? They paused the transfer to the rainy day fund. Okay, well they paused it. They paused property tax relief. There was an entire state budget of billions of dollars. There was like $47 million going to property tax relief. They cut it. I'm sorry, they didn't cut it. They simply paused it. Just like you could pause.
Right. What a joke. What a joke.
You know, these guys, JB comes out, blames Trump. His budget is up 37% in spending in 6 years. Last thing I'm going to say to any of your listeners, Republican, Democrat, Communist, whatever, have any of your take-home pays gone up 37% in 6 years?
Yeah, right.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
Unless it did, there is no way that your state of Illinois tax burden your paycheck can keep up with the state of Illinois tax burden, because we are spending money we don't have. We're spending you're talking about reckless. And when he blames Donald Trump, how did really, JD? You spent $2 billion more next year than you did this year. How do you blame Donald Trump for that?
Well, the exodus will continue. I mean, people are going to move out of Illinois. Chapin, people moving out of Illinois, that's not going to slow.
You know, we're the lowest job-creating state, in the nation, and half of the jobs we created in the last couple of years, first of all, the government doesn't create jobs, but of the jobs that were created in Illinois in the last year, half of them were government jobs.
Yep.
I mean, the private sector is almost non-existent in this state. I mean, it is collapsing. And look, let me give you a different statistic that I was scared to live the hell out of everybody. Not just even half, but way over half of the babies born in the state are born on Medicaid. Okay?
Wow.
That means that their mothers are indigent poor. Now, look, my dad died when I was in 8th grade, okay? I truly know what poverty is. I also know what hard work is, but I know what poverty is. So I'm never going to fault anybody for the circumstances that they're in. But I will be very, very critical if they don't work to get themselves out of those circumstances, okay? But when there aren't jobs available, like good jobs with benefits, how do you get out of those circumstances? And when you crush, and I mean crush, the job creators in this state with tax after tax after tax, $1 billion in this new budget from J.B. Pritzker on the job creators, where are the jobs going to be? Nowhere. Which then means, how do you get out of poverty?
No, it's this is why I say, Chapin, why are you a senator? Every day you go in and hit your head on the wall. This is the example. You work with them. Yeah, we're good faith, we're good. And then they just ram it through.
Well, watch this. Listen, first of all, as I've told you before, I'm Irish, and we never, we never run from a fight, man. Right? We run towards the fight. Secondarily, look, I want to say a couple positive things. One, we have stopped the service tax. That's a big deal. That was a proposal. I want to keep everybody, but watch out, folks, because I think we're going to go back to Springfield in this summer, fall. Like I said, Chicago's trying to get bailed out for the CTA. The Senate did pass this idiotic $1.50 tax on deliveries, the pizza delivery tax, the $1.50 on it. The House did not, but that's only because they blew their midnight deadline to get it done on simple majority, and they had a couple members absent. And so I think they'll get the summer to get their roll call together, count their noses, and come back. So, watch your wallets. I don't think this is over yet. But, Stevie, listen, man, we have got to get the party a candidate for governor that can not just take on J.B. Pritzker, but beat him.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Beat him. Yep. Listen, when you're born with a trust fund baby with a silver spoon in your mouth, you can try to do good, and then you can be so far out of touch with the common Joe or Jolene that it is impossible. It's just impossible. It's like the let them eat cake attitude, right?
Right.
And J.B. Pritzker is let them eat cake.
Yep. Well, right? He's going to be president, I guess, in 28, though. So at least there's that.
In his own mind.
Yeah.
In his own mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I had hoped that he was going to be Tommy Boy. It was out to stay at the hometown, right? That's what I had hoped. But what I got instead was literally, the re-answer that, right? But then the cake. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, there aren't going to be jobs left, period, because to your point, Stevie, anybody who has the means is leaving and taking the capital with them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And when there isn't capital, there aren't investments, and there aren't investments, there aren't jobs.
Nope.
And when half of your state's jobs are government run, it's like the old Maggie Thatcher. The problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money.
That's exactly right. All right, Chapin, I appreciate the update, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing, and keep the fight.
Yep. Thanks, guys. And on a very positive note, super, super excited for Illini football this fall.
I think
so.
Go Illini.
Talk soon. Chapin Rose, our state senator, 52nd District. Chapin Rose on ESPN 93.5, where it is now 8:33.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. A 45-year-old Egyptian in FBI custody being charged in the flamethrower attack that burned 8 people in Boulder, Colorado, in a peaceful demonstration for the hostages. He traveled from El Paso in the country illegally, yelled "Free Palestine." Texas Congressman Brandon Gill on the second assault on U.S. Jewish life in 2 weeks.
We shouldn't be allowing Hamas supporters to come into our country legally or certainly illegally.
Ukraine framing today's second round of Russia peace in Istanbul, talks with an assault on Russia's Air Force, destroying more than 40 Russian jets on the tarmacs by drone attacks on bases in Russia. The House Oversight Committee sets June 18th for a hearing on whether the Biden White House aides took advantage of the president's cognitive decline with the auto pen. Congressman and former White House doctor Ronnie Jackson asking whether Hunter Biden might have signed his own pardon. America's listening to Fox News.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Here's a check of local news on your Monday. Superintendent of Champaign Unit 4 schools. Tempers flared last week as the board voting to end Sheila Boozer's contract effective immediately. Boozer will remain on paid leave until her contract expires June 30th. Well, drowning is a leading cause of unintentional injury death in 1 to 4-year-olds and the second leading cause for 5 to 14-year-olds. Lifeguards of the Sholem Aquatic Center in Champaign said it's important for parents to help keep an eye on their children. Each lifeguard goes through a week training to make sure they're capable of doing their jobs. A state Democratic bill to add AI as part of cyberbullying school code passed the Illinois Senate Friday. Proposal would put into state law that no kid can bully another by using AI. Students cannot spread explicit AI images of another person and also cannot create a digital replica of the person that they're bullying. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Check of our weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
And with the nice weekend we just had, are you entertaining outdoors? You want to take it up a notch on the deck patio or with a pergola? Save 10% on this project. Visit kramersiding.com.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. The summer-like warmth expected to stick around the first part of the week. Just some modest cooling, but welcome rainfall in the drier areas expected for the middle part of the weekend, perhaps thereafter. For today, no rain, warm sunshine, but a hazy, smoky look to the sky at times. 85, light southeast to south wind. Patchy smoke and haze early on, down to 63 for tonight. Tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, sunshine close to 90. South wind picks up 25 mile per hour gust expected in open areas. For tomorrow night, we'll bottom out at 71, maybe a shower after midnight. Warm, humid with a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday at 85. Still a couple of more showers, maybe a thunderstorm for the day on Thursday. The high near 80 there. Partly sunny, lingering shower chance Friday at 76. Dry Saturday 77. Back up to a warm, humid high Sunday at 82 and middle 80s on Monday with again a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order.
Order! Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours.
The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote.
Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out.
That's spring-green.com.
We talked about the action auction with Rotary. We spent a lot of time on it because of the unique auction items like going to the Masters Golf Tournament with Josh Whitman on a private jet.
Yes.
Championship Sunday, staying in the Berkman Place, all those incredible things. And they raised, we're reporting, $475,000 and still counting. Their goal was $300,000.
Man.
Champaign Rotary, huge impact. Books for Breck. And that was a little boy that died, honoring his life, that he loved books so much.
The ripple effect on the books that these little kids will be learning and getting up to speed instead of us looking at all the low test scores in our area. Yeah, it's happening. Man, there was a shift after COVID. And, you know, to have kids that start learning at their grade level and really you need to start that at preschool level.
No, they ought to be, if they have, again, you can't pick your parents. And if you have some guidance, kids are reading really, really early if they have some support, which is awesome. I think I've never met a person that wasn't intelligent that read books. The process of reading is just gigantic in the development of everything.
It sure is.
I think all the SAT, ACTs, if you're a voracious reader, you're good.
Right.
Because the way they word some of the problems
I know.
Totally meant to make you stumble. So anyway, it was a really nice evening on Friday night, and so a lot of friends enjoyed that. And I'm just excited for the Rotary for working so hard and to get that much money in a room. And through the year, I mean, they work on it all year, and it's once every 3 years, which is smart. It'd be hard to do that every year and get that kind of money. I mean, it used to be back in the day, made $75,000 a night. You're pretty excited.
I know it.
And now it's like, Dancing with the Stars broke that bubble.
I know it.
And we got a couple of $100,000. And eventually, last year was $500,000.
It was.
And the new Dancing with the Stars doing $500,000.
And then they also are adding this spring fashion show for Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club. There's some movers and shakers in the fundraising business. I wish they could, join the Champaign County Freedom Celebration because we got bingo on Friday night or Saturday night at the Elks Club.
Hold your cards. Bingo. Hold your cards. Hey, Gladys, hold your cards.
We've got to verify.
Mildred, let's see that again. Did I say B28?
I think it's a good, you get 10 games, $30 when you walk in the door. If you have your own dauber, that's fine. But if you don't, you're going to buy one for $5. We got the 50-50. We got the heads or tails.
There's professional bingo people out there.
I'm hoping people come. July4th.net has more details. And again, you're helping Champaign County Freedom Celebration. Elks Club behind Old Orchard. Doors open at 5 Saturday night.
All right. Go and raise money, and then you can buy a sparkler. You guys are working so hard for the Freedom Celebration with a new route and excitement for fireworks. Our fireworks are great, but nobody wants to give money.
I know.
And it
less
doesn't
than
pay for
1,000 in
itself.
the buckets.
Yeah.
Because nobody carries
Why don't
cash.
you just walk around the crowd doing 50-50? That always sells.
That's what I said, Stevie. The people will give if they get a chance to win. That's why we're trying this bingo. I mean, they'll give $30, but they won't give $30 if the bucket goes by,
Well,
right?
how much are tickets for it could be $1 for a ticket, but nobody has cash.
That's the problem.
There's a problem.
And then you got the QR code stuff, but you have to take your phone out, and this is probably a 3-minute process to scan, but you could go to july4th.net and then figure it out by giving online.
All right.
By the way, you mentioned that you were doing planting over the weekend,
Yeah.
and we were having trouble with the iller. It's filler, thriller, spiller.
What is it? Filler?
Thriller, spiller.
Okay, spill out with
Spiller
the
with the
potato
bottom
plant and
the
vinca, the vinca vine,
and then the filler is like the middle that's colorful, and
Yep.
the thriller is the flash on top.
that's when I got the spiky thing on top.
Exactly.
Okay.
I
All right,
like it. I'm gonna have to go see that.
Yeah, well, it's yeah. Happy to get her done, but it looks so nice. You just put some geraniums or so, and you can pick whatever color.
Mhm.
I didn't know they had white geraniums.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have white, red, orangish.
Well,
you have
and my
purple.
mom was big
Purple?
geranium fan because they really are enduring.
Well,
in,
yeah,
in case you have a little bit of a drought.
I'll give you a tip of my own. This is important, so listen carefully. It works better when you water.
Yes,
I'm
it
shocked
does.
by that. I mean, I put a little water on, boom. If you don't water, they don't do well.
I know
So it's kind of basic. All right, sports headlines, 8:44.
I think Eli Conan, a new defensive end, is coming our way, according to Illinois football and recruiting. It looks like 3 seasons of eligibility. So I know that it was fun to talk with Coach Brett Bielema, but we were mainly about the family, like we always are here on ESPN 93.5 when we talk to him on the radio.
Well,
He's
he
talking
looked-
about that Jen and his daughters.
But Brett, that's as good as I've ever seen Brett Bielema look.
I'm telling
I think
you.
he's down 80 pounds, and he just had a spring in his step. He knows he's got a good football team.
I know.
But and by the way, the son of a gun can auction.
Yes!
He wanted to be an auctioneer, and it's a real deal.
He said when he was growing up, 700 head of pigs on his farm in Illinois, and that he went with his dad to these auctions all the time.
No,
and it was a bucket list item for him to actually do. Hey, but
He was doing it.
1,000.
He auctioned something off. He was fantastic.
Yeah, we all almost gave him a standing ovation.
He's awesome.
And-
No, I tell you what, put the cones down. Brett Bielema was a big boy, and he was like a defensive end. He's a walk-on at Iowa.
Oh, really?
And he's a tall drink of water. He's a big kid.
I know.
But anyway, happy
If you
for
notice
him.
the picture on social media that I posted, welcome to look at that. Stevie's in his tux. And it's been a couple dozen years since you put that tux on.
No,
and
it
it
hasn't been
good.
that long. No, it's a few years.
Oh, I thought
bought
you
it
said
a couple.
2000.
I bought it then.
Okay.
But I'm thankful I can get into it.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be Father of the Bride, Steve Martin. Hey, it fits still. Hey,
but bursting
all
at the seams,
all the
kind of thing.
all the fruffles and
But
stuff.
when I saw you, Coach B was standing, I went up and I was like, "Dang, you're looking good."
No, listen, I was one of like 10 in a tux. I thought there'd be more. I was
It was kind of all over the place.
It was all over the place, and that's fine. It's just that I thought
I
there'd
sent
be
3 outfits to my daughter Gabby, saying, "What do you think of this? What do you think of this?" And then I sent her the invitation, saying, "This is what they're saying," And again, I talked to numerous ladies saying, "I didn't know what to," because there was a couple of prom dresses in the house.
No,
that were
everybody,
way fancy.
Everybody looked nice. It was just I expected more tuxes, so I looked a little out of place.
No, you didn't.
Anyway,
It looked great.
It was fun.
So Texas over St. Louis 8-1 yesterday. They're sitting out today, but getting ready for a series against Kansas City tomorrow night, Wednesday and Thursday here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs over Cincinnati 7-3. They're setting up a series that will be against the Nationals.
Yep.
Yes. And that'll be a 5:45 start over on US 105.9. So.
Good luck to beating the Cubs. I'm telling
know
you,
it.
they are impressive offensive bunch, and they take advantage of mistakes. Mm-hmm. And the crowd is so good in Wrigley Field because I think everybody's a little surprised they're this good.
Absolutely.
But they're the man right now, maybe in all of baseball. You got Detroit and maybe Chicago and L.A. and Philadelphia, and that's really your top teams.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Yankees are up there. So it's definitely It's a good surprise for Chicago fans. And the Cardinals have played well. Cardinals are second place, 4 games back, and nobody thought they'd be over 500. So I think it's very positive for our local favorites, Cubs and Cardinals. And White Sox are certainly better. But how would you like to be a fan of the Colorado Rockies? 9-50.
Oh, wow.
No one in baseball has ever achieved that.
Oh, man.
9-50. There is a positive. You can sit anywhere you want in Colorado when they play at home.
That'd be kind of fun. I'm road tripping to go see 50. The Colorado Rockies.
They ought to.
9-50.
They ought to have the tickets where they ought to be, like $9.
They're taking on the Miami Marlins, 23-34 today.
Oh, that's way better than 9-50. I mean, the White Sox. Colorado's going to break.
We were excited when Tanner actually got one of the wins of the 9 wins.
Well,
Tanner Gorman was a Central graduate that we were rooting for when he was at Wrigley. But, he's with the Rockies. And
good for him. He's pitching in the major leagues.
25-year-old.
9-50. Mm-hmm. That is a stunning achievement. A negative stunning achievement. Okay, weather next.
As the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports Illinois. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports Illinois isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money splits, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Neighborhood Nights with the Urbana Park District will feature different bands every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8 p.m., performing in various Urbana parks presented by the Music Shop.
Wednesday, May 31st at Carl Park, 400 West Indiana Avenue. Enjoy the occasional Cajun band.
There's free popcorn and lemonade, along with fun activities and community resources. Bring your lawn chair out Wednesdays throughout the summer starting at 6:30. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Okay, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Early summer-like warmth greeting the new week through the middle part of the week. Welcome rainfall as well, and pretty good coverages and amounts the middle part of the week. May linger into the end part of the week, and perhaps some dry time for the weekend, but back into unsettled mode for the early portion of next week. Sunshine, warmth for the day today, and some patchy smoke and haze around, especially this afternoon, high around 85. Light southeast to south wind, patchy smoke and haze early on tonight. A few clouds, otherwise lows down to 63. Gentle south wind tomorrow, windy, very warm, more humid, mostly sunny, highs getting close to 90 as south winds pick up 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Showers right after midnight tomorrow night, warm, more humid at 71, warm and humid up to 85 with a couple of rounds of showers, thunderstorms morning and afternoon on Wednesday, 79 with a couple of showers Thursday, 76 and a shower chance on Friday with a partly sunny sky. Dry Saturday, shower threat back in on Sunday, weekend highs around 80 with nights near 60. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
The school year is finally over and it's summer vacation for all our teachers. Celebrate at Busch Stadium. Teachers Night presented by Millipore Sigma is back at the ballpark on Monday, June 9th. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, you can take home an exclusive teachers-inspired Cardinals jersey featuring the birds on a pencil. As a special treat, the first drink of the summer is on the Cardinals. That's Monday, June 9th. Teachers Night at the ballpark. For tickets and details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Steven Matz, St. Louis Cardinals for the Loop.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.
Was in the heating and air conditioning business for approximately 30 years and then retired in 2021. So I came out of retirement because I'm very big on taking care of our local community. The most satisfying part of my job is when I know that I've done the right thing for the customer, taking care of the customer's happy, and when I walk out the door that I'm not afraid to put a sign out in front of their house that says, "This job was done by Chuck Thompson, Classic Plumbing and Air."
Visit them at classicplum.com.
All right, it's Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel. We love talking to you about Dedicated Diesel. What's news there?
I've got something. I'm tired of looking at this Dixie Chopper Classic 4060 industrial unit. It's got 58 hours on it. It's basically brand new. The MSRP on that unit is $19,273. The MAP price on it, minimum price that we're allowed to advertise, is $14,577. Somebody's going to walk away with that for $11,000. We're going to take $8,000 or $9,000 off of that and just get rid of it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a $20,000 machine, and I can get this for essentially half off.
Yep, this is a Dixie Chopper Classic. It's got a 40 horsepower Kawasaki engine, 60-inch deck on it. Comes with all the warranty, $11,000, walk out the door. Call Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can email me at timo@gftlog.com. Get more information, whatever you want to do, we'll get that to you.
Okay, we are about out of time. Don't forget the drive this afternoon. Lonte, Derek Piper, and Curtis Allen. Appreciate you all listening this morning. Covered a lot of ground. You can always go back and hear the podcast if you'd like to do that. That's up there at steviejay.com. Boys have a podcast. We have a podcast. Yeah.
That's right. And it's great to meet from Rantoul. Caleb Kraft came in as our law enforcement official of the month.
Yep. We continue to support and appreciate our law enforcement in our area.
Maybe
all over.
Re-listen to Senator Chapin Rose and his critique of the budget that passed over the weekend
It's
at
just
the end of May.
Same old. Super majorities, Democrats running the state. It's dysfunctional. And the headline of the Tribune blamed Trump.
Right.
You got to be kidding.
$55.2 billion.
Well, we just don't have it, so the taxes are going up $1 billion. That's all we want is to give this state more money.
And then, I was reading an article from the ABC affiliate in Chicago, and they say the seventh time he's had a balanced budget. What? The seventh time he's had a balanced budget?
No, I mean, you're in their pocket, and you're going to do what they say, or you don't get access, I guess. Anyway, it's very disappointing, but that's what happens. Oh, we'll talk to the Republicans until they don't. Chapin said he's Irish, and he runs toward it.
That's right.
All right.
Ready for the fight.
We will be back at this tomorrow. Diane, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
That is Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. We thank you very much for listening. We will gather tomorrow again on the radio at 7 a.m. Thank you. Have a great Monday. We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction from the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We're putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies, and the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com. When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
That's JOEQ to get started today.